Everybody, welcome back. Again, my name's Martin Boyd, VP Product Marketing here at Profisee. I'm here with Wangui McKelvey of Microsoft.
Hi, nice to be with you today.
Yeah, thank you for coming into the office. It's great to be able to do these things in person when we possibly can.
Absolutely. Happy to make the way up to Alpharetta.
There you go. All right, so can you tell us just a little bit about your job and your role in Microsoft, just so we all get a perspective on what it is you do, which, by the way, is a lot, as we know. But if you can just introduce the audience to yourself, and then we'll get into the conversation.
Happy to. Hi, everybody. I'm Wangui McKelvey. I lead product marketing for our Azure Analytics stack at Microsoft. So that includes products like Power BI, Microsoft Fabric, Azure Databricks, and more. So really happy to be here. I've been here about 3 years and in this role about 1 year.
Fantastic. So during the course of today, we're talking a lot about the modern data estate, and we're talking about the essential components, which of course we believe MDM's a part. We'll get to that in a minute. But from your perspective, what are the essential components of the data estate, and what's driving people to buy and adopt them?
Yeah, well, I think, more and more we are seeing just this evolution that's happening. And I think when we think about an intelligent data estate, it has to, first of all, be a complete data platform. So that has to be first. I think secondly, you want it to be open and we think lake-centric as well. We think that it also should be AI-powered, have AI infused end to end. And we also think it should empower the business users as well, because ultimately they're the ones that want to make business decisions off of what the data platform is able to do. And so that's what I would say in short, what I would think about that.
And what makes it intelligent?
Yeah.
I mean, you said AI, but
Yeah.
Can you kind of flesh that out a little bit?
Yeah, I think, we are seeing more and more that AI is transforming everything. And we think within a data platform itself, that means that AI is going to be infused, not bolted on, but actually built from the bottom up inside the platform. So whether you're doing data integration, data engineering, data science, business intelligence, you want AI to be infused across the entire platform. And so that's what I would say where they would make it intelligent, is because the AI is built in, and then the insights that you're able to get out of that because the AI is there.
So when we think about that as a software organization, we think about how we can use AI inside of our platform to make people's jobs easier.
Yeah.
But then how do you use AI once you've delivered the data estate and all the right data, et cetera? And then how do you use AI to exploit that data or leverage it? How do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, I think, data really is the currency and the fuel that powers AI. So I don't think you can have an effective AI program or project or product unless the data itself underneath is in the right shape. And so I think you have to start there. And I think we are seeing more and more AI capabilities being infused at every layer. And so as a result of that, once you have the data in the proper state that it's in, now you can run all sorts of AI models with it. You can do all types of transformative projects with it, and ultimately deliver really great outcomes because of it.
So I don't know if you caught the previous session where we're talking to a couple of our customers about the business value of MDM. But I was asking them, is it a strategic thing? Is it a tactical thing? What KPIs? When you're seeing people justify an investment in a Microsoft data estate or the tools to build a data estate, how do you think they are justifying it? Are they just we got to do it, or are there specific things that they're trying to carve out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we would all agree, right? AI is transforming everything. And I think businesses and customers are seeing that in order for them to stay competitive in the landscape that they're in, they have to think about how can AI give me that competitive advantage? And so I think that this is becoming an imperative, right? I think most customers that I talk to are in early stages that they're trying to figure out, well, where can I apply AI? Is it in business processes? Is it building new products? Is it helping my employees be more productive? And so there's all of these sort of things that organizations are thinking about to be able to take advantage of this, because they know that this industry is headed that way. Every industry is headed this way. And so if you want to be competitive, you have to embrace it. And so to your point about ROI, I think just like any investment, like any good CFO is going to want to know, like, what's the ROI for all of these investments that you're asking for? And so I think that those things will come in the form of new business insights you're able to unlock, new markets you're able to enter into, faster time to market, et cetera. I think will be some of the KPIs that we'll see.
Okay. So kind of, if I can try and recap and tell me if I'm getting this right or not, there's a blend of strategically we got to do it, but each project gets justified in its own right along that path. Is that accurate?
so. I mean, I think, you can't ignore it, right? Like, because I think your competitors are not. And so if you want to stay competitive, then you have to really lean in to see how can now we as an organization unlock value here.
And so what level do you expect to be speaking to someone in a Microsoft client? Are you talking to the CEO, the CIO, CTO, Chief Data Officer, somewhere else? Where's that decision being made from your perspective?
Yeah, I think it's a mix. I'll call it a hybrid mix. I think we certainly are spending a lot of time with CIOs, CTOs, to your point, to just make them understand or help them to understand what the landscape is, what we're seeing, giving them insights, giving them advice on how we think they can approach things. But we also see it at the individual level, the developer level, or the business users level, who are really wanting to unlock insights from their data. And so to me, I think we see a lot of these investment decisions coming because maybe a department decided that they wanted to use the technology, and they are seeing definite business insights and business value from that. And so because of that, then you see it start to percolate into an organization. And the next thing you know, you have a whole department saying, we need this. And then that goes to someone in the line of business leader, that goes to somebody in IT, then it makes its way up to the procurement team. And so I see more of a decision that happening with buying groups than instead of individuals. And so we see developers influencing their teams. We see also sometimes you see it come from the top down as well. So that's why I say I think it's a bit of a mix, because you can have both, I think.
Okay. So people who've got started on this, what kind of reaction and feedback are you seeing from them? Are they, this is frustratingly slow, we wish it could be better, or this part is great and this part is not great? Where are the teething problems and the learnings that people are going through?
Yeah. I mean, I think, like you and I talked about a few days ago, I really feel like we're in the early stages of all of this, especially when it comes to how AI can be transformative to a business. And so I think right now I'm seeing a lot of customers that are really wanting to just start something, get started with something. Is it a business process that can be improved? There's product development can be improved. Can my users be more productive? And so I think we're seeing a lot of that in the early stages, but I also see a lot of innovation that are being unlocked as well, that companies are really excited about, and figuring out how they continue to do more and more to unlock the business value that they're looking for.
So it's more, people are still at the point of exploring the art of the possible. We're entering a new phase, and people they can see the possibility perhaps, but they're only just creeping their way towards delivering on it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we're still in the early days. I certainly think we are past the sort of, playing around, tinkering phase. And I think we're now in the phase of, okay, how can we actually adopt this? What can we do? How do we unlock this? And so I think that's kind of where we are, but still very early days.
Does Microsoft have any advice for your customers on how to get started? I mean, you just buy stuff across the board, or you pick a particular area and drive forward with it? How would you advise someone to think their way through building their new data estate?
Well, I think first you have to really have a commitment to have a modern data estate. And so I think, really looking across your environment and getting that in order. And so we have a ton of, solutions to help with that, as you know, but I think that's where we start, because we really feel like you can't really take advantage of what AI can offer you until you have a complete modern data estate to build off of.
So let's talk about some specific elements, some specific products. To the extent that it's possible to pick between them. So when you're looking at your analytics platform, there's Fabric, there's Databricks, there's competitors. Well, what's your advice on, which one do you pick and how do you move forward?
Yeah. So the beauty that I like to say is that we believe Azure is the best destination for your organization's data. And so Azure Databricks, as you mentioned, is a longtime partner of ours, and they do a really great job in this area. We recently launched Microsoft Fabric, which is our SaaSified data platform that really brings together a lot of disparate tools into a single unified platform. And so the beauty that I think I would say to people is you now have options, right? And so if you have scenarios where you want to leverage Databricks, we absolutely encourage it, and we want you to do it on Azure. But then if you also have new use cases that you're trying to unlock, maybe you want to democratize who has the ability to build some of these custom AI applications you want to build, then we say start with Microsoft Fabric as a starting point. And so, but ultimately, we want to give customers choice, and that's how we look at it.
Okay, you mentioned data democratization there, and it's a phrase we hear a lot. We heard it on the last session, if you're listening. How do you view that? Do you view that as a necessary construct to leverage the value of AI in all of the modern data estate, or does it not have to be that way?
Oh, I think it absolutely has to be that way. I think in order to unlock this business value that I keep talking about, like you have to democratize who has the ability to act on this data, right? And so in order to do that, you have to make the tools, systems, and everything easy for everybody to use. And so I do think that this is an area that we are investing heavily in, which is one of the reasons we developed this SaaSified platform to make things super easy. So yeah, I think it's super important. I think more and more, you're not going to have just individuals that have, access to understanding the data. You want it down to the actual users who are making decisions for your business to be able to have the insights right at their fingertips to be able to make those things possible.
Fantastic. So let's talk about how the data gets delivered in a way that it can be consumed. We talk about delivering consumable data. One of the things that MDM does is pull data from lots of different sources and deliver it in a kind of packaged, fully formed way. Some people talk about that as data products. Other people talk about medallion architectures, the gold data and the medallion architecture. What's your perspective on what it takes to get data there and how to build the capability to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the starting point, right? You have to be able to get the data to a point where it can actually be served up and used for different scenarios that you want to unlock. And so getting it from the bronze, silver, and gold is what is important for us to do. And then once you get it to that state, then you have the ability to really have innovation happen, whether that's creating wonderful data science projects, or whether that's doing some really cool business insights and business intelligence that you can deliver off of that, whether that's even leveraging a lot of the real-time intelligence and real-time insights that we see as well coming in from different endpoints around the world. So yeah, I think it's a critical starting point here.
Yeah, I think that's the spectrum, isn't it? From the individual making the data accessible to individuals and teams, all the way up to the data science and having the flexibility to pick off any project in between.
That's right.
When it comes to once you package the data and you're delivering it through that, what, in your view, or what might be some interesting examples you've heard from your customers on the art of the possible using co-pilots and how people may have transformed their data or done something they didn't even think they could have done?
Yeah. So we had a really cool customer example, Denver Motorsports. This is a group that runs the Porsche Cup. And so they're constantly evaluating these cars. These cars are out there racing. You always have some telemetry coming off the cars. And so the people that are behind the scenes working with the driver are needing to get constant and real-time updates, exactly how the car is performing, what do you need to do, how do you need to think about it, what might be failing, what might, so they're getting all of these insights. And so they're using Microsoft Fabric to be able to serve up all of these real-time insights so that the driver can get the insights he needs to be able to perform effectively on the track. So, and they're using co-pilots and AI to help serve up that information quickly to the engineers.
So the co-pilot is just helping report on it, or it's actually delivering an insight that they wouldn't have had otherwise?
Yeah, it's doing both. I think we have the AI capabilities built in throughout the entire platform, and this real-time intelligence capability that we launched about 6 months ago now. It's really exciting to see, and because in the past, real-time data has just been so difficult to work with. Oftentimes, you're not really dealing with real-time data. Sometimes it's a month data, a month old, a week old, but now you're getting these real-time insights, and so that's really been cool to see that example.
Excellent. So we're an MDM company. I think you already know that.
Yes. A really great partner of ours.
Yes. Thank you. And you of ours. How do you fit in mentally, or where do you see MDM fitting in a modern data estate, and particularly amongst the tools that you sell?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's certainly, I think, a critical component. And at Microsoft, we don't have a first-party MDM capability, which is why Profisee is such an important partner of ours. We realize that we're not going to have everything built as a first-party service for us. And so, as you know, Microsoft is a very big ecosystem-friendly company. And so where we don't have first-party capabilities, we partner heavily with our partners. And so we see partners like Profisee and others being critical to helping us really bring this modern data estate platform forward for our customers and partners.
Okay. And I know you can't put your thumb on the scale and recommend a single vendor because you're Microsoft and it's an ecosystem. But if you were to describe the ideal MDM
Yep.
vendor or capability, what do you think would be the things that you'd be top of mind for you?
Yeah, well, I think it has to be, a trusted partner. I think the product that you deliver has to be world-class, market leading. I think you have to have customers that love what you put into the market. I also think that you have to be an organization that is also ecosystem friendly and want to work together. And so, like you said, I can't necessarily endorse a partner, but I would say that we are very, very happy and really thrilled to be partners with you guys.
Well, fantastic. We actually, so to my surprise, have a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
So do you have any advice for all of the people listening in here from a Microsoft perspective or whatever perspective you'd like to take on as they're building out their data estate and their journey? What would you advise them to think about as a for their own advantage?
Yeah, I would think the first thing I would say is decide what business outcome you want to drive. And so maybe think about ahead of time, what is it that you want to unlock that you can't unlock today? And then maybe start there. And I would say, you don't have to boil the entire ocean. You can start with just that premise.
Mhm.
Like, what problem do I want to solve? What scenario do you want to unlock? And then start there. And then you build from there. And then I think, and if you're really wanting to understand how AI can be unlocked in your organization, well, you got to start with a clean data state, trusted data, all of the things that we've been talking about. And so that's what I would say. Figure out what outcome you want to drive first and then build from there.
Fantastic. And interestingly, there's several sessions today. I don't know if you saw the agenda, but later on, we're talking about use cases and the value of picking use cases, et cetera, et cetera. So you're not just kind of broadly investing in everything and getting started. You're picking a specific target, driving towards that, and then layering other targets on and on and on in order to build out the muscle.
That's right.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Wangui. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being a great partner, and thanks for your insights for the audience.
Awesome, Martin. Thank you so much for having me. And again, really appreciate the partnership.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll be back in a minute.